Hi there. One of the most crucial emotions to heal in healing your irritable bowel syndrome is anger. Now, anger, a lot of it is repressed because we've all grown up in families, culture, and society that it's shameful to act up and be angry. So this all started when we were in toddlerhood, childhood. When we were angry, we'd lash out. Our parents would say, no, that's bad. And that has become a very deep shadow of ours. So there's a psychiatrist named Carl Jung, and he does a lot of shadow work. And to really heal irritable bowel is to heal a lot of the angry shadow. So you don't even know that it's there, but it's there. And it's very normal. Everyone has it. And we deal with anger in all these different ways. So there is the anger that we deal with when we hit ourselves back. So that's retroflexion. So retroflexion is basically you're so angry at a person or a situation, but it's not smart, or you don't feel safe in expressing that. So the very thing or the violent action or that judgment or that strong kind of vengeful or resentful energy that you have, this action that you have, say you want to like hit something or someone, but you know it's not smart to do that, you actually energetically do it to your own self. So there are many things that you perhaps thought were unfair or unjust, or you were angry at growing up and you wanted to express that, but right away, before you can even express it, you repressed it. So a lot of people who have repressed anger, accumulation of repressed anger results in depression. So a lot of people with irritable bowel have depression, but it's that rageful, retroflective anger that we keep constantly doing to ourselves over and over again that's causing the spastic colon. Because if you think about it, anger is it's a violent energy, and it's very normal to have, but we haven't learned how to deal with it in a healthy way in this society. And you can see it everywhere. When people are angry, they take it out on other people, and that's called projection. And, you know, in a massive scale, anger projected at each other is war. So that's why it's so crucial for us to heal the anger within ourselves. And for people with irritable bowel, we have a more sensitive stomach, and there are things happening with our human evolution that energies are rising and we're becoming more sensitive. I don't know why, it's just that's how it is. We're evolving, but we're evolving towards love, and it's always been like that. So if you think through history, and even through healthcare history, we've really come a long way, and everything's progressing towards that. If you look at movies that are new movies that are being made with directors being inspired to push this message towards self-acceptance and self-love, it's the same thing in healthcare. They're just taking a little while to catch up with its research, but a lot of new research in neuroscience is, you know, supporting this relationship that we can begin to have with ourselves. So anger. How do you heal repressed anger? And the easiest way is to start paying attention to how you feel, and to notice your triggers, and notice when you are about to project or blame someone. So with people with irritable bowel, we're stressed out, and if you don't know that you're stressed out, it's because you're heavily dissociated and disconnected from your body. So please do the mindfulness meditations. I have all these different meditations that you can do, some that are in the deep program and some that are coming in the insider bonuses. And then there's the allowing demonstration. You just got to get in touch with your feelings and your body, and over time you'll start to feel into the irritation. So people with cramping or spastic colon, it feels really, you feel like this all the time. And I know this because I've been there like a million times. and you just feel, oh, you don't like this, and your whole body is going like this, and you literally just have to lay back and just listen. Or if you're feeling really irritated and you don't know what to do, you just gotta let it out, because it's good to express what's been repressed. So if you have anger, you gotta express that, because at least you're letting the energy out. You're letting it out of your body, and you're starting that effect. Some people will say that it makes the angry symptoms even heavier, but it's better to get it out than to keep it in. So for me, expression work was really important, especially if it's a lot of repressed anger. And I would do this through not projecting at somebody else or a situation, but I would take it out in my own, with myself in my own way, not through retroflexion, but projection onto an object. So I would take a foam roller, or you take a plastic bat, and I would beat my bed or the floor over and over again. Like, I would literally go, most people avoid their anger, but I would go into my anger, and that actually healed me very quickly. And that's the best way to deal with anger, because if you're not gonna take it out on something or someone, and they do a lot of this in Gestalt therapy, you're going to bubble it up, keep it in, and you're going to make your irritable bowel symptoms worse, and you're going to take it out on other people around you that, you know, that love you. And that's not cool. I did that, and it becomes this blame game, and we kind of get really stuck in our victim modes, where if we're not a victim to other people, we're definitely a victim to being afraid of food and all these, you know, other scary things that we could possibly be afraid of out there. So that is what I did, and that is how you heal anger, is to really take it out. So I would punch pillows, or I would hit the bed or the floor, or be in my car and I would just punch my car seats. They were very soft. And I did this in a safe manner, so please do this in a safe manner. And I would do it until all the frustration from my body was gone, or I'd go to the pool and I would just hit or punch the water. I loved punching the water. And breathe into it. So when you're really angry, like someone triggers you, right away, don't try to be a good girl or boy. Try to step into, you're allowed to feel that anger. And sometimes there's a lot of resistance, and there's a lot of fear, and there's a lot of guilt with feeling angry, because it's so deeply programmed within us as humans growing up in this society to not be allowed to feel angry. So start to notice when something starts to irritate you, or you start judging something, or something just makes you angry. I want you to invite yourself to step further into that, and to feel like more into the anger, like deeply into the anger. And to really, like, most people would avoid that, but I'm saying go in there. And most people, when they're angry, they try to cool off, they try to go away, watch TV, or they distract themselves, call a friend, do whatever it is to distract themselves. But you're actually ignoring and disconnecting from the angry inner child and the angry emotions that are repressed, suppressed, and that are causing your irritable bowel symptoms. So please go in there whenever you feel a trigger with someone or a situation that happens that kind of makes you irritated or angry. And that's why it's called irritable bowel. That's what I believe. It's because there's just a lot of irritated feelings in there, and it's about letting them out slowly. But after you express it, so I would hit until, like, I literally got tired, and it's just that angry energy settled. And sometimes after, I would cry a lot, and then I'd feel like this big release. And sometimes I would feel sad after, because people who suffer with depression, and I suffered with depression for a long time, I would fall into bouts of being angry and then getting sad. But if you could just stay angry, it's actually much more beneficial, because a lot of us have this repressed unconscious mechanism of getting angry and then getting sad, and then repressing the rest of those angry feelings. And that's why sometimes depression is so chronic, because they're unconscious programs. And the only way, if you can tap into your anger, and it's actually healthier, and you have more energy to keep staying angry and to stay with that anger. So the faster you you go into this work, you're going to heal your irritable bowel faster. Anger is the most violent emotion that you can store in your body, and it is the root of so many psychosomatic illnesses, and you can find that in all these articles. But people really don't know how to deal with this anger because it's, or process or regulate this, because this is something that is not done. And what I notice that some people do is after they express it, that's a really good place to start, but you must also breathe into it. So people express it, but breathe into it and feel it when you're angry. So yes, express it, but breathe and feel the anger. So right, I would do it, and I would express what needed to be expressed until I was tired, but I would be still angry, and I'd feel it. I'd just like go into it and I just feel it, because I got really in touch with my deepest repressed anger. And I'd pace around it, and I'd feel it, and I'd breathe into it over and over and over again, until sometimes it would last 20-30 minutes, but I would stay with it until it was gone. It's kind of like, treat yourself like you are your own parent for your own inner child who is angry, and you gotta be there unconditionally loving with your own inner anger, because that's your child. And once you heal this inner emotional child within you, your irritable bowel symptoms will definitely reduce in its symptoms, and it will vanish. Because my stomach now is it's very strong, and that is what I intend for everyone who goes into this work and is brave enough to do it. So just do it. I mean, what do you have to lose, right? What do you have to lose? I mean, you might be really afraid, but just you're conscious of that now, and you know that that fear and that resistance and that guilt is just an old program that doesn't serve you. And the new evolved way to transcend that is to invite yourself with full permission every single time to go into your anger, to use the triggers that, you know, people trigger in you when you do feel angry, you do feel like blaming someone, or you resent someone from the past. Use all those memories, feelings, situations, and go in there and feel it, express it, breathe into it, and most importantly, stay with the angry feeling until it is gone. And then it will come again, but the layers will be less, because you have been repressing and suppressing these feelings, you know, for I don't know how long now, right? So just do it over and over again. And the results are drastic when you do this. And to get over this permission piece, sometimes you might feel there's resistance. So sometimes you might not even know that you have repressed anger. That's how repressed and like shoved down it is. But there are obviously situations where that make you so angry, or that you want to blame someone, or you want to accuse someone, or you want to anything, right? So think of someone. I feel that people sometimes are your best teachers in showing you what is still angry within you. So a lot of this work, I actually use my relationships with my family and my close friends, because they're the people who are closest to you show you your pain. And when I was doing this work and I was reclaiming all of this power within me, I would notice every time I got angry at somebody, I right away, you got to flip it. It's not their fault. They're just triggering an anger in you over and over again. And you may think that it is really someone else's fault, but the more that you release your anger, you really come to a state of forgiveness and acceptance for everything in the past. And every time you honor your feelings, you get to know yourself better, and you move through the world better, and you trust yourself better. So how do you heal your anger? Notice your triggers, get into your body, use the meditations and the allowing demonstration, especially when you're noticing some cramping or irritation or some spastic stuff going on. Do the allowing meditation, or do the allowing demonstration, like lay down on your bed and actually stretch out, expand open your belly, and really breathe into it, move into it, and feel all the resistances and the fears and the angers there, and dissolve them one by one. And if you feel really irritated, where you don't know what to do and you're super angry, express it. Because sometimes I didn't know what to do when I was in so much pain. I would start just getting angry. That's when you know you're bubbled up and you're this volcano and you're ready to just let it out. And instead of you know, blowing up at people or situations, or just keeping small and like playing nice and keeping it to yourself, let the energy out. That's kind of the consequence of, you know, being playing nice or being a good girl or a good boy, growing up with parents in a society that tells you how to be and tells you how to feel, and you know how to feel, or that your feelings are not okay, right? And all negative emotion is okay. It's a very natural part of our human spectrum of emotions and of being just human. But as a society, we don't know how to regulate it. We really lean towards positivity. And I mean, so do I at this point. But to really come into a harmonious world, we need to also acknowledge that, you know, there are negative experiences, and that these negative experiences and negative emotions and feelings or unpleasant things that happen, they are there to be that dual kind of part of showing happiness and joy, because we don't really understand positivity and happiness and all those things without the negative. Like, it's the contrast that makes us have the human experience and understand that. But it's really about regulating and kind of bringing up this repressed emotion that makes you feel more balance over time. So in the beginning, when you start to do this work, I'm not saying that it's easy or that it's not painful. It's quite painful, but it's about allowing yourself to feel the anger and to feel the pain over and over again. You're already suffering with your irritable bowel, not being able to eat and being in so much pain. So you might as well invite yourself to go deeper into the pain and into the anger, to at least on the other side, I know for sure that your irritable bowel will resolve itself. So if you have any questions on how to heal anger, because this is the most crucial piece, with the anger piece, please comment on the support video and I will clarify any questions that you have. Thank you for watching.